We got B-ball breakdown. Coach Nick. How Jimmy Butler in triangle offense saved the Warriors. They run a triangle? I know they ran a triangle.
After the Warriors' hot start, it looked like we were destined to suffer another postseason without Steph Curry performing in it. And while no one was positive how a major roster...
Also, they didn't make the playoffs last year. The Warriors didn't make the playoffs last year, that's right.
Deadline, Lord Almighty has it, to the tune of a 16-3 record since.
And Clay went 0 for 10.
We don't have to ask who's responsible. The answer is simple. The Butler did it.
Jimmy.
With Jimmy Butler's arrival in San Francisco, some key stats have been affected. First off, the Warriors went from 27th in free throw attempts and last in percentage to 4th and 3rd respectively.
Damn!
Before we get to that, we have to examine how the half-court offenses function as a team with Jimmy out there. Of course, in Miami, he was no stranger to lots of ball and player movement, particularly using get action and handoffs to create advantages. The Warriors' offense has lots of similarities to the Heat's attack, so this has been an easy transition for him.
It does?
All of these actions are rooted in the triangle offense, a system that won 11 titles in 20 years before the three-point era took hold. And the low post split was an automatic to the triangle.
They shot threes back then?
The low post would go straight
They shot three-pointers back then?
the elbow and then cut through.
Pippen about to shoot a three? No, he thought about it.
Also had lots of triangle concepts as they battled the Bulls in 2 finals. Well, you might not remember, but Jimmy played the triangle offense in Chicago under Tom Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau runs the triangle?
Find a juicy low post split with him involved.
I thought he don't run any offense. I thought he's all defense. He don't run nothing but defense play and let you do whatever you want on offense, as long as you play defense. Whoop-de-doo!
He was no stranger to feeding the low post and then cutting to finish strong at the hoop. Here's one example of Mike Dunleavy almost setting the split screen for Jimmy out top before he dives into the paint for the easy layup. And here, he curls all the way around the weak side high post to catch his defender trailing for the nice Pau Gasol dish and layup off the glass. I mean, the Bulls ran pure triangle about 25% of the time.
This Bulls team went 50 and 32 and lost in the second round to old man Brown and Cavs.
Here's Jimmy running pinch post with Pau as he gets a running start into the catch and beats Brook Lopez to the basket. So it's not surprising that we've seen a big jump in assists with Jimmy playing in the Warriors' half-court attack. And the vast majority of them are out of the vaunted low post split that the Warriors have been running since Steve Kerr took over as head coach. You see, the number one principle of sound offense, as written by the Triangle's inventor Tex Winter, is that the ball must penetrate the defense. While hitting a defender with a nice hezzy and getting...
Oh, so he calls it the sound off. He don't call it triangle. We say sound offense.
Lane is exciting. It's also hard to do, compared to a simple low post entry pass. Here's the basic idea. Quentin Post enters to Draymond down low, thereby penetrating the offense. Even if it's still 15 feet from the basket, Post takes advantage of most centers' instinct to drop down to protect the paint, meaning there is no help after screening for Curry, who is now getting a pass on an angle from the basket for a wide-open three. The Warriors are great at probing the defense early looking for an opening, but if they don't get anything, they can bring it right back into the low post split without missing a beat as Jimmy feeds Draymond, then goes to screen at the elbow for Moses Moody. Jimmy knows how to set a really good screen, and Moses gets the benefit of moving to his left, which for a right-handed shooter is easier since his body is already aligned to the hoop. And Butler is great at reading the defense as a cutter himself. Watch how his man jumps to the outside of the defensive screen, leaving a lane right to the basket wide open. Draymond won't miss this pass, and Butler is an excellent finisher with both hands. Jimmy is so comfortable with this action that you can see him calling it out, directing Buddy to feed the post. Now, when it's a shooter and a non-shooter coming together, normally you want the non-shooter screening. Jimmy realizes Isaiah Stewart switched on to Buddy, and again, big men's instincts are to stay in the paint. So the re-screen for the shooter finds Stewart going under, and it's an easy read for Buddy and Draymond to connect for another assisted and open shot. Curry doesn't have to be involved in the split to benefit from it. Watch how they use the pick and roll to get a deep post catch for Draymond, and the split action attracts attention on the strong side, while Curry lifts to the wing for a good look on the skip pass. This action doesn't have to be limited to three-point shots. When Butler comes around the screen towards the corner, he can aggressively drive baseline and suck the defense into the paint, which opens up the corner three for a good shooting big man in post. But the real special sauce is that they can put Jimmy down low on the block, and for the first time ever, the Warriors have a bona fide scoring threat down there. And it's the same kind of dominating threat you can be by playing Prize Picks, the best place to get real money.
I forgot. Coach is nice with it. Coach is nice with it. He's nice with the ass, man. I forgot. I had to get refamiliar with your game, coach.
Prize picks. Run your game. Watch how Jimmy can be the hub of the offense as cutters create even more pressure on the defense. Curry rejects Draymond's screen while Greenspan gets sucked into Jimmy's gravity down low, generating an
Draymond
from out top.
Yeah, Draymond been making more threes, y'all.
Even more gravity for Butler down
Yeah, man,
low.
took that backpack off. Once Jimmy came, he took the backpack off.
As he goes to work on a much smaller defender while Draymond sets the inside screen for Curry. Once the double hits the post, Butler finds Curry, which forces the rotation, and now the Warriors are leveraging the gravity of both their stars to the fullest extent.
Damn, he had all day. He could have closed his eyes, blinked, blew a kiss at the referee. Bro, took a nap, made some coffee, got some Jimmy Butler coffee, big face coffee. You know, dang, you could have went back home to Arkansas. But dang, he had all day.
Look how fast they can run this action in transition. Butler gets into the post with his back to the basket while Post sets the screen for Buddy and they split to the hoop. This turned into a rub screen on Buddy's man as Draymond gets the pass out top and finds Buddy in stride for another gorgeous assisted basket. The reason why Jimmy has so much gravity is because he's a real threat to score down there, something the Warriors have never really had. Most of the players getting the ball down there have been happy to hold it and find a pass for a shooter or a cutter.
Draymond.
Jimmy's aggressiveness down there opens up all types of shots as Gary Payton II's man has to help and they get another splash from deep. It's clear from watching his post-ups that he knows how to balance aggressive scoring moves with kicking out for open teammates. And it all adds up to why the offense has seen such a huge jump in offensive efficiency since he's gotten there. A perfect fit of talent and mindset. And the focus on getting it to him down low for his split action has also led to the other big effect he's had on the offense.
I thought he was about to get sent. Ooh.
Lobbing it to him from the top of the floor is the other big effect he's had on the offense. Free throws. Lobbing it to him from the top of the floor is nothing new. He's been getting these kind of looks since he was a young high flyer back in Chicago, just making a name for himself as a tough guard out of Marquette. With Draymond able to pass so well, they're not only getting it to him on the block, but he's turning these into foul shots. I wasn't joking when I said the Warriors went from absolute last in free throws to basically first almost overnight. Another way he's good
because of Jimmy Butler. That's like Russell Westbrook. When he goes to a new team, they go from last in pace to like top 10 at least in pace.
Willingness to twist and contort his body to make sure illegal contact was made by the defender, and yelling out from said contact doesn't hurt either.
Here he gets the pass.
The four-man lineup of Jimmy, Post, Moody, and Draymond has been a stellar defensive unit and gives Coach Kerr lots of options for that fifth player. And one of the best attributes this group has is rim protection. With a legit 7-footer that can move out on the perimeter, dealing with the pick and roll, it leaves Draymond in his best position as the quarterback behind everyone, with Post trailing to battle for rebounds. Having a big man alongside Draymond also allows them to team up on players under the rim and have been causing problems to even the best finishers down there, as Giannis repeatedly effed around and found out recently. Post and Draymond have done a nice job ganging up on would-be drivers to the rim and swallowing them up and spitting out the misses. Combine that with Butler and Moody's ability to pursue and offer some good protection around the rim as well with their strength and athletic ability means they've found a good group to build around. The bad news is that if you play these four with Steph, it hasn't worked well. But put Brandon Podziemski or Gary Payton out there, and they're killing teams. And that means these last few games for the Warriors are crucial to tightening up the rotations and squeezing out even more Jimmy goodness from their offense as they approach the playoffs with an outside chance
Jimmy goodness
spot with hopes of playing either Houston.
Yeah, they can actually get the fifth. Yeah, they think they're like 1 to 2 games behind the fifth place, and they gotta keep on winning though. Cause you gotta understand too, they 1 game up on the play-in. So right now they number 6. That's the last spot in the playoffs. So you gotta keep on winning, or else they're gonna go down to the play-in. So if they keep on winning, they can go up to number 5 possibly.
And one thing we've learned after all these years, never count out a team with Jimmy on it.
Yes, sir. In my eye. W video, Coach Nick. Think the Warriors gonna make the playoffs? I don't know. We'll see. Or they gonna be in the play-in.